Hey. What's up? What's up? Billy Carson here, aka 4bidden Knowledge. I'm here with my very, very good friend Jimmy Church, who flew into town for a very special weekend. Thanks for coming, Jimmy.
Billy, always good to be here. And hello, seriously, hello to everybody. Billy and I just got off planes, and here we are, hanging out, and couldn't wait to start yapping.
Yeah.
Can I start off with this, Billy?
Yeah.
One of the things that my watch keeps hitting the table, I'll avoid that, is having an open mind, right? And that's what we talk about. Have an open mind and consider everything and listen to as many people as you can. And certainly with our friendship, we have. So before the show today, Billy goes, "Church, I have an open mind and everything, but I got to reel you in. I got to, we're getting ready to go live, Church. And just listen, man, you got to can you be cool?" I said, "Billy, I can be cool, man. What happened to the open mind?" Well, I have it until the light goes on in the studio with you. And
Crazy, man.
So here we are, man. This is great. It's a birthday weekend.
Yes.
It's a birthday weekend. Thanks for the invite. And I jumped on a plane and I couldn't wait to get here. Did Elizabeth like the gift that I got her in the garage?
I don't think she saw you. We just got off a plane.
Oh, okay.
We didn't see it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We didn't see it, but we'll see it very soon. It's Elizabeth's birthday. I don't know what gift in the garage she's talking about, but now I'm curious. I want to go see it.
Oh, man. Billy, how are you? Okay, so I came in from LA. Briefly, you were landing in LA as I was in the air.
Yeah.
Where'd you come in from? What were you doing?
Well, Elizabeth's birthday is on Valentine's Day. And
convenient.
Yeah, I know, right?
Convenient.
Oh, man. And what's amazing is there's a neighbor here who's coming to the party tomorrow as well, whose birthday is on Valentine's Day. But interestingly enough, she had never had a good Valentine's Day or birthday. And for her entire life, either on, her birthday, which is Valentine's Day, it has always been a bummer, depressing, a lot of the times by herself alone, or just not experiencing the same thing that her friends would be experiencing on Valentine's Day. And it's really her birthday. So it was double negative for her, right?
Right.
And so when I met her and we got, we started dating and everything else, and it started getting serious.
Dating the neighbor?
No, not the neighbor, Elizabeth.
Okay.
But when the neighbor didn't exist yet in my realm.
Okay.
But when I started dating Elizabeth, we started getting serious, and I told her, you'll never have to worry about having a sad birthday ever again. And so I made that oath to her that every birthday will be absolutely amazing for the rest of your life.
And also from one man talking to another, you will never, ever have the opportunity to use the excuse of, "Is her birthday tomorrow?"
You can't forget it.
You can't forget it. You can't forget it. And
yeah. So I took her to Bora Bora. Bora Bora. Last year was Jamaica. Last year was the first time I took her out for her birthday. I was Jamaica. We went to Secrets, had a great time in Jamaica. This year I wanted to do better. And not that Jamaica was bad, but I wanted to do something a little more exotic. So we went to Bora Bora, which was an amazing trip. One of the most beautiful places I've ever seen and vacationed at in my life. And I've been around the world a lot. And then we stopped back. Coming back, we stopped in Tahiti for a day and a half and had a great time in Tahiti, and then came back to the U.S.
And here we are live a few minutes later. Billy, well, and Elizabeth, I say this all the time, and it's no joke. If you choose to accept to put your toes into Billy's world, be prepared. The man doesn't stop. Elizabeth doesn't stop. So for me, it doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. The situation that you have created for yourself and forbidden knowledge and everybody that not only follows you, and I can say us too as well.
Yeah.
That when we talk about these things, it's about getting stuff done. And I say it so often that Billy doesn't play. He simply doesn't. I texted that to Elizabeth. Did you see that? I texted Billy doesn't play. And it's the choice is yours, right? And you can either come along for the ride and participate, or choose not to do things. But the only way to get things done in your life and to make changes is to get it done and do it. If you think it, it stays there. You think it, and then you do it and you execute, and you show that to everybody.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I have an actual formula that I came up with, and it's called consciousness times or backed by action equals manifestation. So you can have the conscious thought and you can have all the knowledge even, but until you put action behind something, you're never going to get to the end result.
Here's the thing. We have so many exciting things we're going to talk about, but I do want to start off with this mindset that we're dancing in right now, which is this. People will come up to me and they come up to you and they say, what's the secret? How do you know what? Get stuff done.
Right.
That's the secret.
That's the secret.
That's the secret. Finish. Go and do it.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger, Billy, I'm going to share this with you. Mick Jagger had a famous quote, and this interview's going on, and the journalist literally says, he goes, so how do you explain the success of the Rolling Stones? And Mick goes, the band didn't break up. We kept working. That if the band breaks up, if you don't do it, nothing gets done. It only gets done. Things happen because we kept the band together. And that's the secret. Just work. Just work. Little sweat equity.
Yeah.
And if it's up here, go and do it. Billy's list that he just said, I'm scared of that list. Scared of that list because it means you got to work and you got to get it done. And just like 2023, man, and we started plotting this. Okay. Can I say something else? I'm taking over your show.
Go ahead, man. Billy. You flew into town to see me, man. So talk.
All right. 2023, when all of you look at the list of events that are going on, this wasn't laid out last month in January. No, this was planned and worked on all through 2021 and 2022. Billy and Elizabeth and myself too, of course. We got a list of things and ideas, and then one after another, we checked them off and got them done and executed. And when I look at 2023, to a lot of you, you're going to look at that and just think that this is stuff that, no, we've been working on this for almost all of it for over a year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No doubt. Yeah, it's a process, and people have to understand you have to take part in the journey to get to the result. A lot of these journeys, they're like heroes' journeys. You go through the trials and the tribulations, but a lot of it's good. If you were passionate about it, you'll be excited about what you're doing. So when some of the negativity does pop up, you just keep driving right through it. But there's a journey to get to that end result. A lot of people want instantaneous gratification.
Right.
They want the end. Boom. Give it to me right now. I want to win, without going through the suffering and the pain and the sacrifice.
And the sweat.
Yeah, like working in Bora Bora. Now, we're here in Bora Bora. We're celebrating your birthday, but at the same time, don't forget, we got some work to do too. We're going to work for a couple hours a day, and then we're going to have some fun, but we're definitely going to get that work in.
That's right. Well, you know what? I'm going to take this. Look, it's a tuna can. I keep
That's a
fresh.
beautiful watch.
Yeah, I keep fresh tuna in that when I'm not.
That's a nice watch. Man.
I'll trade you for yours.
Well, let me wear it a little longer.
Oh man! Every time Billy and I are together, I try to trade watch.
He tries to get one of my watches.
I try. I wear nice stuff.
Yeah,
I do.
You have nice stuff.
This is nice.
Yeah.
You know, that's a limited edition nice watch. It's my sales pitch.
Right.
Right. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
When we were in Egypt, Billy and I and Elizabeth, and we were just crazy one day, just, and I'm trying to keep up with Billy and Elizabeth. Come on, Jimmy, come on, quit slowing down. Come on. I'm there. I'm cool. And I walk out and I put my hands on my knees and I bend over. Elizabeth taps me on my back. What's up, church? So I can't do this anymore, man. I can't keep up with you guys. But that's the point. It's the journey. Yeah. It's pushing through and getting through. I think that today, Billy, you just brought up one of the best points. Everything is such instant gratification.
Yeah.
Everybody wants this instant gratification. They just want to go and get to the end of the journey without going through the journey. And they just want to bang out at the end. And no, the universe works with positives and negatives, and you don't get anything positive without putting in. It's a balance of everything. Exactly. You've got to put it in if you want something back. It's really that simple, isn't it?
It's that simple. It's just that the part that people fail at is the action part, because as soon as a little bit of pushback comes, a little bit of negativity, or it's a little bit of drama, or it's a little too hard, or I have to dig a little deeper, that's when they go, oh, you know what?
This is too much.
This is too much. Let me rethink this, or let me do it again tomorrow. Let me try again next week. I know so many music artists that are independent artists that have some of the most incredible music you could never imagine, 10 times better than anything I could put out. But they have no songs on the radio. They have no songs on distribution. Yet I have over 340 songs in global distribution worldwide, and I make more money than most rappers. And you'll never see me dancing and prancing around in VIPs at clubs and everything else. You know why? I just put the work in and I put the music out. I put it in and put it out. These people are holding on to catalogs and catalogs and catalogs. And I say, one of these guys said, why haven't you put this music out yet? It's the most amazing stuff you have. It's just not perfect. Or it ain't ready yet. Man, put it out.
Put it out. Put it out. There's always a time to stop. The soup has cooked long enough, right? The stew has been there. You can continue to spice it up. You continue to remix. You can rethink it. You can overthink. You can overthink. There's a time to just turn off the burner and eat it and enjoy it. There's too much overthinking going into it. And that is such a really good point. Let me tell you why. What Billy and I are doing right now, we were just out in the hallway and Billy goes, let's go. We come in, we sit down, we hit go, and this is it. Or we could sit out there and talk for 6 hours about this and overthink it and do this and overcook. Overcook. No, come in, get it done. Don't procrastinate. Exactly. Let's go. It's go time.
Yep, it's go time. And so it's all about, and I'm looking up because I'm working on my screen here at the same time, but it's all about understanding that you have to be willing to put the work in. And then at some point you have to be satisfied with your work and you have to put it out. You can't sit there and marinate with it and marinate with it and marinate with it, because guess what? You'll never make it into anything. Nobody will ever get to see the fruit of your labor, right? And it'll be thought about until you think it all the way away till it doesn't even exist anymore. See? So you have to be careful.
That. See, I'm not going to tell you the mistake that Billy made. That's because we didn't plan. We
hopped right in. We're like, let's go to work. But there's one more thing I need to click on before we get to work, but we got it in there.
Oh, we got it in.
Yeah.
But I don't know where to start with this year. And it is a forbidden knowledge year in 2023. Yeah. But I am going to do a shameless plug for myself first.
Absolutely, please.
April 1st, I'm going to be hosting an award ceremony. I'm going to do a couple of award ceremonies this year.
That's right. You're getting this, and you're marinating now.
So this, I'm doing the Parapod Festival in Los Angeles in Santa Clarita on April 1st, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So come on out, and everybody can go and find the links. But here's the thing: the committee for the awards, we sat down and we started to look at, because this is a media festival. This is for documentaries, for films, TV shows, a podcast, writing, any forms of media, right? This is a media event, and being put on by Tony Sweet and UBN, a great broadcaster in Los Angeles. And so I'm sitting with the committee and we're discussing things, and we kept circling around to you, to Billy. And we voted and all agreed unanimously to present an award to Billy for his success in media, not only for what he has built, but why he built it and for the community. And I called up Billy and I said, look, man, this is with love, but I'm just going to tell you, we want to give you this award. And so please accept it. And so we're going to kick off the year with you coming out to LA April 1st. And I get to give my friend a Lifetime Achievement Award for your success in media. And it's just, I cannot wait for this to go down.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. When you hit me with that, I was completely blown away, but I appreciate everyone who even thought of me and realized and recognized the work that I've been putting in. Can
I ask you, people probably don't ask you this enough, if ever, but it's been a long road. It's been a long journey. Things don't happen overnight, but things are really feel like they're starting to come together. It's no time to rest, certainly.
Right.
But do you feel it personally? Do you feel like things are starting to get to the point that you wanted them to be?
I'm feeling it. Where I am now is where I had thought about being decades ago. And for so long, I was grinding like the last 8 to 10 years so hard. I wasn't looking, how you swim, you keep your head down. You got to look up every now and then and see where you're going.
Right.
And I looked up about 2 years ago and I was like, holy crap, I could see the shoreline.
Right.
I can see it now. And because I was like, just swimming, man, just swimming, just stroke after stroke, boom, boom, boom. And now I look up and I see, now I'm almost at the shore. And it's a great feeling. It's a feeling of like, wow, I really am living the life and the dreams that I had hoped for. And it's like, it's mind blowing sometimes, because sometimes I look at myself and I'll open up social media, I'll see a million videos with my face on it, or, I'll go to my TV network and I'll sit down and I'll actually watch my own TV network in my movie theater and be like, this is crazy.
How did I get here?
I'm sitting in my own movie theater at home, watching myself on TV in a movie or a documentary or a show or whatever, and it's like, wow, I really am living my life's dream. I'm really accomplishing these things, and it motivates me even more.
It certainly does. I'm going to throw Billy under the bus. I love doing this.
Oh, no.
Okay, so no. We don't know how we met.
No, we don't.
I want everybody to understand the heaviness and the seriousness of the words that I just said.
Yeah.
We've never been able to figure this. We've talked about. No. You would have thought that somebody would have come forward by now and said, no, it was me.
Yeah.
We don't know. And when this journey started 10 years ago, between the two of us, you had pulled me aside. This is in the beginning.
Yeah.
Church, this is the deal. This is my vision. This is what we're going to do. This is my plan. And I was like, okay, man, good luck. It's good to meet you, man. I'll talk to you later. Good luck. But slowly, this thing, happened. And when we consider the journey in its totality, like you just mentioned, the movie, where you and I are at the premiere together, and I'm sitting in a movie theater and I'm looking on the big screen, Billy and I together. Yeah. Billy and I'm like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
And it was just so satisfying to see, this thing slowly come together, but we don't know about the beginning.
Right.
We don't know how that happened.
We don't really understand how, where, who, why, when, what. The next thing I know, I'm on your show and we're best buddies and we're for years. I don't even understand where the beginning, the first handshake or the first.
I can't remember it. I have tried and tried. So there you go. Yeah. It's all about the journey, everybody. So now, okay, so we have a Parapod coming up April 1st. I'm very excited about that. We're going to be able to black tie this thing.
Yeah.
To start off the year with the black tie. We're going to be doing that a few times this year. What's next? Now, I know we just got back from Egypt. Do you want to talk about Egypt next?
Yeah, let's talk about Egypt next. It was an amazing trip that we had in Egypt. We have 2 tours. One is a 10-day tour. The second one is a 4.5-day tour to accommodate people that can't leave for that long. Maybe they got kids, a job, don't have enough vacation hours, whatever. So we have 2 tours. But let's just play a little short clip of highlights from the Egypt tour that we just went to.
We got clips?
We got a little clip. Oh, yeah, we got some action. Here we go.
Wow, the memories of that.
Oh, man.
Friendships to last a lifetime.
We're still all in great communication with each other today. I just dropped a link if you want to register for this amazing tour to come out with us in October this year. It's in the chat. Make sure you click that link. It'll also be in the caption of this video or podcast as well.
Billy's Boot Camp. Billy's Boot Camp. And let's actually spend some time on this for a second, because that tour, it was partially my fault in that I kept going back to Billy and Elizabeth. Can we add one more thing? Yeah, sure, Jimmy, whatever you want. Okay, well, really? Okay, what about? And we packed so much in, and it was partially my excitement of, going over there for the first time. but we ended up doing everything on my wish list, Billy's wish list. We combined everything together, and it was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a lot, but I wouldn't have done it any other way. And I think anybody on that tour will say the same thing. We were tired, but we wouldn't have done it any other way, right?
No.
Because we got so much done.
Yeah.
And then but this is the thing. So after we kind of sat back going, let's do 2 versions of this tour, man. Let's do one as big and one for more like if you want to just get in and get out and see something amazing, but just compress it down. So I'm going to be doing the 5-day event. We've got the long it's 10 days, right?
10 days,
10 days, and which will have the boat, the Nile cruise, which was for me, Billy, to cruise down the Nile and to see Egypt, 500 miles south of Cairo. And not only do you get to see the temples from the boat, and you have the luxury of the cruise, which is amazing, but you can relax on the boat, but you get to see the Egyptian people doing their thing on the shores of the Nile that they've been doing for 5,000-10,000 years. To experience that. It's a lifetime thing, man. That's a bucket list thing.
And the amazing wildlife that you see as you're cruising down the Nile, and you can just see the wildlife and the farmers and the agriculture.
So cool.
Oh man. And then some of those ancient mounds with temples built into them, I guess it's probably a burial mounds or whatever.
Tombs. Tombs. Okay. I know this may sound trivial, but it's non-trivial. There are tombs that families have, for thousands of years along the Nile that bury their relatives and family members, maybe mayors of towns or officials and things like that. But it's all along the Nile. And I was fixated on that, watching that one time. And it's
amazing.
Yes, because I'm thinking, how old is that?
Right. Some of those things 4,000 or 5,000 years old.
4,000 or 5,000 years old, and you're just cruising by, and you get to see one after another. It's just amazing. Amazing.
It's a life-changing, tour when you come on this tour, because you're talking about going to all the major places, and we stayed in only 5-star hotels.
Yes,
we stayed only in 5-star, only. All right, and so if they had 10-star, we'd stay in 10-star, and also we had armed guards.
Yes,
everywhere we went.
Yep. And somebody asked me about that, Billy, where they said, do you really need that? I said, well, you know what? It's not that. Egypt is one of the most beautiful, warmest, the culture, the vibe that you get there. There's not a negative thing that's going on, but you don't want to not be prepared. So our security was low key. But you just have that feeling of nothing funky can go down.
They're ready. They're watching, just in case.
They're in the background.
Just opportunists to say 2 giant tour buses of Americans coming. You know what I mean? It's a gold mine.
Yeah, I got to say though, it's a pretty cool feeling to walk around with a couple private security guards with Billy Carson, and like you own the joint. And here, you know what we did? Everybody for the For the tour, we had 80 guests. And so the boat that we got shipped had 80 staterooms. We booked the entire ship except for one stateroom.
That's right.
A mother and daughter.
Just one.
You know what? They must have thought we were the strangest group. But we had the entire ship to ourselves. And so if you go on that 10-day trip, that's what's going to happen. And to have an entire ship and the entire crew there for you to take the pressure off. It's just about
and the food was great.
The food, everything
5-star meals. And then when we go to a lot of these sites, don't forget that we get private access to a lot of the places, private access to the Great Sphinx. You can actually walk up and touch the dream stela between the Sphinx's paws. I mean, where can you nobody gets to do that.
When I posted that video, so Billy, we all go down to, no, let's actually back up. So before they closed down the Giza Plateau for us. They closed down Giza for us. So we're up at the top, and the police are coming through, clearing everybody out, blowing whistles. Remember that?
Yep.
Right?
Everybody
we're talking
get out.
about
Forbidden knowledge is here.
15, 20, 50,000 people, tourists. I don't know. It was a lot.
Yeah.
And they're clearing everybody out but us. And the next thing you know, and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we're the only ones on the Giza Plateau.
That's right.
Quiet. It's just us walking the entire to feel what it must have been like 10,000 years ago on the Giza Plateau, walking around. That's what we had. So later I shoot this video and I go down into, some of you have seen it, but I'm walking around the Great Sphinx by myself. And I shot this video alone, walking around, the peacefulness and then the energy coming off of that Sphinx, man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And people, you just don't get to do that. When you go there as a tourist, I think you're about 50 yards away from the Sphinx.
You're up top.
Yeah.
Behind the guardrail.
Right. Behind the guardrail. You're not touching anything.
No.
You know. And Giza can become a madhouse with so many different people from so many different tours there at the same time, and so many tour guides, talking through those megaphones at the same time. When we go there, everybody out.
We had the Great Pyramid from all night, all day and all night until I don't know how many hours.
It was pretty late because people were still up inside the King's Chamber meditating for about another hour.
All night we had it. So I want everybody to experience what I experienced, which is this. Billy and I, here we have the Giza Plateau to ourselves. And Billy and I and Elizabeth, the three of us, were walking into the Great Pyramid, and we're alone. There isn't tourists. There isn't noise. There isn't anything going on. It's just you and yourself. And Billy says, "Jimmy, go." And I was alone. Well, I had Billy and Elizabeth, but I was able to go in and enter the Great Pyramid by myself first and go up the tunnel. And my point being, this is something that you can't do unless you're with forbidden knowledge. And to have that experience, you need to cop the vibe that I'm telling you. It was incredible. So Billy took a picture of me in the tunnel. He's behind me. And I turn around and look, and all I am thinking to myself is, I can't believe I'm doing this. And with my friends. And we turned around and entered the Great Pyramid by ourselves. And you remember when we went into the Grand Gallery and we were standing there at the bottom of it, and I turned around and looked, the feel, because it's quiet. We were there alone.
Nobody but us.
Just our voices.
Just our voices. We were the first ones in there after everybody got kicked out and cleared out. And it's just amazing. And to see those people, like the military rounding people up and getting them off, I was like, wow.
I felt guilty for about 1 minute.
Yeah,
I did. I
got over it pretty quick.
I got over it pretty quick. So then Billy doesn't know this. He stayed inside. I left, went outside. Now I'm truly alone.
Yeah, you're by yourself.
I was by myself. And I fired up my camera and I walked around the Great Pyramid shooting a video of myself in this very solemn, spiritual is the word for it. This very powerful, this thing that has, been hanging above the world for tens of thousands of years. It's been such an omnipresent monument, and I'm there alone with it. It was unbelievably powerful. And it was because of you and Elizabeth and Forbidden Knowledge. And
it was a great birthday.
It was on my birthday.
Yeah.
It was pretty
great time.
Happy birthday to me. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Oh, Billy got me a belly dancer.
Yes, I did. I got on the cruise. We had the Forbidden cruise. We had a Forbidden party.
Forbidden
we
party.
Had a Forbidden birthday party. We had a Forbidden podcast. which
we did. That's
yeah,
right. That's
I'm
right.
trying to get the audio file to match, and they're working on it now. But that we're going to release that, and I'll give you a copy of it too. But this was just an amazing tour. It's something that you just have to see. We're going to go to Abu Simbel this year as well, which we didn't get. That's the only thing we didn't get to see. But we even got to the Temple of Seti at Abydos.
Seti the First in Abydos is one of the most incredible. Abydos, okay, we can talk about Luxor, we can talk about Karnak, we can talk about Dendara.
Yeah.
There are things there that, yes, of course, right? Yes. But Abydos is the origination of what we consider Egypt.
Yep.
So now the age of Egypt and how far it goes back. Okay. Then we have the Orthodox Egyptologist version of things. So when we combine the two of those together, it was King Narmer and Mene, the same person, name change. That was buried in Abydos. He was the first king, the first pharaoh. So that was the beginning of the dynastic period. All of that happened in Abydos. And where's the origins of, what we consider the dynastic period, the Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom? The foundations of everything that you see there are right there in Abydos. And it is something that you need to go and appreciate and think about the age of everything that is there. And Abydos is so important for all of that.
Oh, it's so huge. I mean, the Egyptian kings list
is in Abydos.
It's in that Temple of Seti.
Twice.
Yeah.
It's twice.
Where they got it from to put it in any other text, that's the original source material.
That's it.
I told you guys I have the receipts. I always get the receipts. I go to the sources.
It's true.
You can't get no closer to the source than that.
You can't. What is the feeling? Okay. Third time I'm throwing Billy under the bus today. But we're at Abydos. Billy comes up. I was just in the King's List tunnel. I was just there too. But it was so important. For Billy and myself to go and stand in it. It's majestic, man, to see all of those cartouches listed in order.
The ages they ruled. Everything is there. All the knowledge is there. Incredible.
Your picture of that is your smile because it's so powerful. And the King's List that's on the roof of one of the rooms with the stars in between the cartouches. And you just stand there and you look and you think about all the history, and it's right there. And that history that's at Abydos is the history that's in all of the books and everything that is taught. It's taken directly. Now, just imagine they wrote that King's List. It was 500 BC and back, right? It's not from Cleopatra and back.
No.
But for the priest that was given that job. Okay.
Seriously?
Every name, every family, every pharaoh, every king, and their dates. Get the list going because you're going to start some carving. And without mistakes. And they had to cover 2,500 years. We're in, what year are we in? 2023? 2023. So they had to cover longer of a period then than from Jesus to you and I sitting here right now.
That's powerful.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. And with no mistakes.
Yeah.
Because if you make a mistake.
I can't remember what I did last week.
You can't make mistakes.
You can't make mistakes.
And that's what's so important about the glyphs at the Temple of Seti. Because when you look up at the glyphs that depict technology, that look like a helicopter, a ship, a tank, and so forth and so on, that's in multiple places in that temple, not just one. You also recognize that there were cartouches that were in Seti, the Temple of Seti, that were changed to Ramses. Now, what's interesting is this. All the ones that were changed had no mistakes.
That's right.
What they're trying to tell you in the mainstream is that, the ones that look like technology were accidents. You don't make accidents.
No, you don't. You don't.
Then.
And where those, Billy, where those are. Now, when you go to Abydos and you go in the main entrance, the one that is, most popular, you walk in, it's way up high.
Yeah.
First off, what would you say? It's 50 feet in the air, probably.
At least 50.
Yeah,
at least
50 feet.
Yeah.
There it is. Everything is perfect. Look at everything that's there. It's only right those on the end that have been mislabeled, changed, altered, and they're not real. But everything else is okay. Just those on the end. I'm not buying it. No. And it's up way too high.
Oh, nobody's touched that stuff. And the temple priest will tell you it's never been touched. It's just what the board of what do you call it? The people that
antiquities.
This is what they want people to think.
Right.
Because there's a mainstream dialogue that they have to follow. They want to follow that. But when you go there, you realize it's a joke. This stuff has never been touched. And if you were the person that carved it, you'd be dead. Because you'd made a mistake and you didn't even fix it.
What is the vibe? I'll give you my answer if you want to hear it. But when you stand in one of these temples, which seem to be anywhere you look, there's another temple, right? Yeah. There's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there are hundreds of temples all across Egypt, and they're everywhere. But when you're standing in this, I keep using the word majestic because I don't have a word powerful enough for because it's big, it's large, it's beautiful, and is it overwhelming? What's the feeling that you get when you stand?
I get a feeling of magnificence.
Yeah.
There are rooms there that clearly have those indentions in the wall, which appear to be some type of portal. What we would look at as maybe being a portal or representations of portals. Squares that they have depicted in the back of some of those rooms in the temple. It's just one of the most magnificent temples you can ever find. I mean, it's massive.
Do you have a favorite?
I still think that Dendara would be my favorite temple.
Yeah, me
Dendara,
too. Yeah. Me too. Temple of Isis, incredible.
Yeah.
And Luxor, the reason why Luxor for me stands out is because it's just like brand new, and it's right in the middle of the city, and it's able to be, because a lot of these temples are hundreds of miles out to the Sahara Desert, and so they're subject to weather and the elements and things. And Luxor is right; it's the town, it's the city of Luxor. Yeah. But Dendara, holy crap, man! Can I say that on the air?
Yeah, you can say. And listen, we had the privilege of, again, private access. So we arrive at Dendara, everybody out. Only the forbidden crew get to come in here. And then not only do we get to see a great tour, but we get to go in crypts that had been closed for a very long time, for decades. And then they give me the key to a temple outside of, right on the same property as Dendara. It's a Temple of Isis is what it's called, actually, too. Even so, that's the second Temple of Isis. I didn't even know that existed.
No, and the priest there, we did a ceremony with Billy. This particular temple, which I know we're saying it's outside in the main temple. This temple's big, right? It's still massive. Big,
still huge.
It's still huge, but it has been closed off to everybody for, I think they said 20 years.
Yeah,
right, 20 years. And so that was on my birthday. That was my birthday.
Yes, it was.
And so the priest comes up and we did. When I say we, I'm saying it was the group of us there, but he does this ceremony with Billy and presents him with the key. And I'm standing, I was so anxious watching this, but I wasn't the one unlocking the door. You were. What was going through your mind?
I was like, you're giving me the key to unlock this temple that has been sealed? Oh, wow. This was like huge.
It was crazy.
That was crazy. I get the temple priest handed me the key to open up this ancient temple, which I open it, and we're not allowed to speak or talk or use any technology.
No technology, no talking. Yeah. This is a spiritual, this is sanctuary, and we have to respect it. So we got the two loudest guys in North America
to open it, go in first.
To open the door for the first time, and we're not allowed to talk. And can we tell them about the bulb?
As soon as we walked in, we saw the technology. As soon as we walked in,
what? No,
our eyes went right to it.
Billy, let's back up. Let's back up. Yeah. In the Dendara's main temple downstairs in the crypt underground is the famous Dendara light bulbs on the side of this crypt. We're all familiar with that. The light bulb, the stand, the thing, the technology, the cables. We all know about the Dendara light bulb. Okay, fast forward. Key ceremony. Billy's unlocking the door. I'm behind him. Billy and I walk into the crypt. What happens?
Oh, man. As soon as we look up, the first thing our eyes went to was another Dendara, a light bulb there.
Right in front of us on the wall. And we can't say anything. Billy and I look at each other like...
We can't record it. We can't videotape it.
Can't do anything.
It's like, oh, my God. I didn't know it existed.
And we're standing there now. And here's the thing about this moment. I'm thinking of... it's like the scene in like a horror film where two friends look at each other. It was like that. So Billy and I are looking at each other, and then we can't say. The priest is standing right next to us.
Yeah.
So, you know, we got to behave, right? We got to behave. We're like, man, oh my! But it was like it was brand new.
I know. It was so fresh. You can tell that place has never been opened. It was sealed.
Fresh.
Rarely has anybody gone in that place. Rarely.
Nobody. I didn't know. No, if somebody had seen it, we would have known about this over the years, that there's a second Dendara light bulb.
Right.
It's one thing to have it once in the crypt, but it's also outside. It's over here. No. I didn't know. Billy didn't. And we're sitting there looking at it.
Man.
You know what? The excitement didn't end there, though.
Yeah.
So we go out. Now there's this... We were taken to this underground pharaonic lake.
Yeah.
And I know that this is a long story and things. It was pretty incredible, but that wasn't the best part. So yes, I go down, I descend these stairs, and if I would have known we were talked about it, we would have played the video right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, but I come out, and this is where Elizabeth comes into the story. And it's her birthday, so I'm gonna tell the story just like it happened. So I'm going through the spiritual thing. Billy doesn't tell me what's about to happen to me. I had no guidance, and I'm going through this thing, and it was fun, but I didn't want to lose the moment, right? This thing that was happening to me, and it was incredible. But I come out, and I walk away from our tour group, and they were all tapping me. So what happened? When I was like, no. I need a minute.
Yeah.
I need a minute. And I just wanted to keep this vision. And then I hear, Jimmy. And I had my eyes shut. And I opened my eyes, and way across the sand is this little being, this little beautiful ray of sunshine, waving her arms. Jimmy. And I went, is that Elizabeth? Oh man, I want to keep my vision. But it's Elizabeth. Okay. So I walk up to her.
Yeah.
And I'm going through my thing, and she goes, "I'm not going to believe what happened. I walked into the thing, and the light came down, and nothing ever happens to me, Jimmy. Nothing ever happens. No. I hear about it, but nothing ever happens to me. I never see anything. This light comes down." I said, Elizabeth, I need a minute. I need a minute to myself. This sounds incredible. She's like, what happened to you? I said, man, I just had my Sunday go to meeting downstairs in the pharaonic lake. And I'm trying. So we went, and Elizabeth and I, we found this. It happened right in the middle of the desert, Billy. You can't make this stuff up.
I know.
A red granite block just appears. So we sit down on this block, and we just needed that minute of
just meditate on what happened.
Yes, to walk through this.
They both had very spiritual experiences at the Temple of Dendara.
It was incredible, and we did it together. And if you get a chance, go to Egypt with Billy and Elizabeth and experience Dendara. It's when you least expect it that these spiritual things happen.
Yes.
I'm using the word spiritual. I don't have another way to explain it.
That's the only thing I could think it would be. I mean, it's
fun too.
Supernatural.
Fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it so much. And so after that, and I know that sometimes you and I try to be strong, you know, and you've got the woo. Do you engage the woo, or are we going to talk about the science, or are we going to do this? Or suddenly, I'm the woo guy that I always hear about, and I don't care anymore, Billy. It happened. It happened a lot, and it's when you least expect it, especially in a place with Egypt, with a guy like me that wants to sit back and go, you know what? I'm the victim.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that they're going to come up to and go, oh, really? You don't believe? What? Now, how do you feel?
Yeah.
And that's it
happened.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Everyone had an amazing experience there. There wasn't a dry eye at the end of that trip. Everybody was emotional. Enjoy, not in fear or sadness, but enjoy. Man, woman, young, old, it didn't matter. Yeah.
It's so powerful.
Yeah.
When Dendara, there's another part of Dendara. Now you see that all over Egypt, but everybody listen to my words carefully. Dendara, it's feminine. Number one, it's a feminine temple.
Yeah.
But number two, it's beautiful. It is as beautiful as anything that you can imagine getting your consciousness and your senses tied into.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. It's the ceilings, it's the pillars, it's the walls, it's the thing, but it's the intention of the artist and the artwork. And the next thing you know, your emotions are going to grab a hold of you.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming. I was sitting out in front of Dendara, excuse me. I'm sitting outside, taking a little break, and it was one person after another coming out, right? Sitting down. I'm like, what's going on? It's just so beautiful.
Right.
So it's a powerful, aesthetically, just crazily beautiful place.
Yeah. I just dropped a link in the comment feed one more time just now. Again, also it'll be in the caption of this video. There's so much we can talk about. We want to move on a little bit, but before we move on, don't forget we have a raffle coming up, an amazing raffle to win a Mercedes-Benz AMG. It's actually Elizabeth's car. And just like, remember, we gave away a Ford Sport.
Wait, the one out in the garage?
The one in the garage you just
I thought you gave that to me. That was my birthday.
No, not that.
What? It's being wrapped. It's like brand new.
No, it is brand new.
It's bumper a 560, right?
Bumper to bumper warranty. No, not the 560. The one in this one, the CAMG.
No.
The white one. There's two Mercedes out there.
Okay. Well, I want that one too.
You got to get a ticket.
Beautiful cars.
The tickets are $44, and a portion of the proceeds go to help communities and schools, which we had the board of directors on this show before talking about what we do with the kids talking themselves, explaining to you what it means to them to get mentors, to get tutoring, to get shoes and jackets in the winter when they have no socks or anything else, to get taken off the street and put into a place with a shelter so that they can actually go to school and have a shelter over their head at night. That's where the money goes. So participate in this. I'll play a quick short clip.
Play it.
And then we'll move on. That's that Mercedes-Benz.
Man. So $44 I can get in on this action?
$44 you can get on the action. And so listen, it's better odds than the lottery, right?
Man, it's such a nice car, man.
Better I just dropped a link to the raffle.
How many miles on that thing?
12,000 miles.
It's brand new, man.
Brand new. It's got a 50,000 mile or 60,000 mile warranty. So it's a bumper to bumper warranty. And this is a car, when I raffled off the Rolls Royce, a lot of people were like, well, what am I going to do? I can't afford a Rolls Royce. Well, of course you would sell it, which is what happened with the person who did when he sold it for any, after taxes, he got $88,000. Not a bad on $50 ticket. But with this car, you can actually afford to keep it. Most people, not everyone, but most people can afford to keep this car because the oil change and this and that and everything else would not be too expensive.
No,
Plus,
it's not bad.
It still has a full warranty, which means the service visits are covered.
Yep.
Included with the car.
Yep.
So as long as you don't take the car and put 100,000 miles on it in 2 months, you'll be able to take it in for servicing.
That
and
car
else.
is clean.
Super mint.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice. So that's for the kids, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
For the kids.
So drop the link one more time. Don't forget to get in on that raffle. All right. Now we want to switch gears a little bit. We're going to pivot. We're going to talk about the Forbidden Conscious Awards coming up very, very soon. And we've got some amazing, I guess you want to call it categories that we're giving away. These are the categories right here. And so we're going to be giving away awards for social media influencer, podcast radio host, music artist, producer, TV host, actor, director, producer, entrepreneurs, health and wellness, philanthropists, authors, field researchers, archaeologists, space anomaly hunters, and a Lifetime Achievement Award.
People that work so hard for this community to, day in and day out, and have been dedicated, and they don't get the recognition that they deserve. And I think it's, not only is it commendable that you and Elizabeth came up with this, and I'll never forget that phone call that day. That was a crazy day to have it. Here we are. This is actually going down. Mm-hmm. But it is so important because there are so many that have dedicated their entire lives, Billy.
And all their money,
everything. They're on their own dime, and they're out there doing this. Whether it's media or content creation or researching books, amateur astronomer, archaeologist, paleontologist, out there just trying to get these answers to questions.
Yeah. It's hard. And what people don't realize is how much cheddar it takes to do this, to fight against the system, to help raise people's awareness to things that they don't even know exist. It costs money.
A system that's built to work against you.
Exactly. And so people who dedicate their energy, their life, their livelihood, that walk away, like I had a successful call center. This call center for me was very successful. It was making about $110,000 to $120,000 a week, good money. And I had two other partners and one other kind of a half partner in the deal. Was the secretary. We gave her a piece of the company because she had really done a great job in managing. So she had like a quarter of the company. But either way, this is before Forbidden Knowledge. And I had gotten to the point where I understood that my mission wasn't being fulfilled. And I was feeling empty and hollow. And all the money in the world wasn't going to fill that void of me getting what was in here, out there, and executing on things that I knew that I should be working on versus running this call center. And I'm living good and everything else, but I'm not contributing to civilization. I'm not contributing to society. I'm not contributing to the community. I'm not, at that point, a community really for me I didn't even know one existed. I just wanted to be a part of something that will help change the way mankind saw the world. And so I walked in and I told them, I said, hey, I'm done. And they're like, what do you mean you're done? Like, you masterminded the whole you were the architect of the whole structure we have. And I was like, I'll walk you through. I'll train you guys on everything you need to know. I'm not going to just walk out, but I have other bigger things in my life that need to be done. And I've got to just jump. I can't dilly-dally. I can't dabble in it. I've got to go in hard all the way. And they said, well, what do you want for your share in the company? I said, I don't want anything. That's it. I walked out. And, it's pretty emotional because they're good people, and I love those guys, but I had to walk away from it because if I didn't do it, I would never be the person I am right now. And so I walked away. I jumped ship. I started the Forbidden Knowledge path. I focused all my efforts on it, and I spent every penny I had, and it cost me to get a divorce. Between an experience that I had and all the money I was spending on trying to do this stuff,
right,
I lost everything. But I knew this was my path, so I kept going. And there's a lot of people out there.
It's all right, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all right.
That have done this, what I did. Some of y'all, you know their names, you know what they've done, but you don't know what they went through.
That's right.
I know some of your story, Jimmy, for you to get to where you got to. You know what I'm saying? I know how hard you had to work. I know some of your trials and tribulations. I'm not going to put you all out there, but it wasn't just a cakewalk. You didn't just walk into jimmychurchradio.com and I'm jimmychurchradio.com. You had to go through some shit. You had to go through some things in life. You had to go through some situations and problems.
You got to get
overcome some
tested.
obstacles.
You got to get tested.
You know what I'm saying? And
yes,
people need to know that a lot of the people out there that you need to be voting for, these people have made sacrifices that you'll never know.
Never.
You'll never know, because when you see them, they're smiling, they're happy. You see me, I'm traveling, I'm in Bora Bora, I'm doing all these great things in my life. You don't know the sacrifices that I put up with, that I made, what things that I lost.
That's right.
To go on this path.
That's right.
Things that I could be doing to have fun in my life. I don't have to be doing this stuff.
That's right.
I can still be rich.
Right.
And still live a great life.
Right.
And not have to worry about death threats and her worrying about protecting my family and having armed bodyguards and all this kind of stuff.
That's right. That's
what
right.
you see around here.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
That's right. That's right. Well, and here's the thing. You knowing all of that, to turn around and give back for the community, and to recognize and to allow the community to participate in those that deserve these awards.
Exactly.
That says it all.
Yeah.
You know, you have to, once you, I'll say it. I've been through, whoa, right? But I don't talk about it.
No.
There's no reason to. It's about recognizing this community and those who are around us. And I have seen, like you, Billy, so many authors that have come up and given me their book and how their journey got them to where they are. And then I turn around and I see some, I'm going to use a bad word. I see some bullshit posted.
Yeah.
Oh, you're writing a book to make money off of this community.
Right.
And they don't realize that this author is going to sell 500 books over a couple of year period. And we're talking about a few $1,000s, but they've invested thousands and thousands of dollars of their own money to write the book, the travel, everything else, and these conferences that they go to, they're paying their own way to cover this.
Thank you.
And yes, and it just infuriates me when somebody says that they're in it for the money. No, they're in it for the spirit of it. They're in it because they are committed to the community, and they don't get the recognition they deserve. Exactly. And that's what this awards is all about. When Billy called me, I mentioned this earlier, it was Billy first. Okay, man, this is what we're going to do. What do you think? I said, yes, let's go. Yeah. It was the next day. Elizabeth calls me up with Billy on the phone this time. Okay, I've already got the facility.
That's right. No, that's right. It's a true
that's
story.
Exactly. I said, okay. And at that point, we were going to do this. And so the structure from the very beginning was that the community was going to vote on this. It was the community that was going to drive all of this. It was the community that was going to figure this out. And here we are. This is going down in June. Yeah. One of the most beautiful places in the country. One of the most beautiful, certainly in Florida, right here in Miami. It's an extraordinarily beautiful facility. Yeah. And this is going to be one of the greatest days. It's
going to be great. I have a short clip I'm going to play for you guys here real quick for the event. There'll be many more coming out, but definitely you want to be at the Forbidden Conscious Awards. Hey, everybody, it's Billy Carson, also known as Forbidden Knowledge. I want to talk to you about a very special event coming up July 30th, 2023. The Forbidden Conscious Awards, the first annual event of its type. We're going to honor people who have been contributing to the conscious community for decades. People that you know and love that have helped you get to higher levels of thought and consciousness and awareness. And guess what? It's time to give them their flowers while they're still alive. It's going to be a live in-person event, but seats are going to sell out very fast. You want to make sure you're there in person for this amazing level event. It's going to be above the Oscars, above the Grammys. And guess what? You can help vote for the winners. Voting is available on forbiddenknowledge.com. And the categories are going to be social media influencer, podcast/radio host, TV host, actor, director, producer, entrepreneurs, health and wellness, philanthropists, authors, field researchers, archaeologists, space anomaly hunters, and of course, a Lifetime Achievement Award. And you want to be there in person because I'm going to be speaking. That's right. I'll be your keynote speaker that night at the Forbidden Conscious Awards. If you want to come to a mini conference, this is the place to be because I'm going to give you the knowledge that night as well as performances. We have celebrity guests performing. We'll have a halftime show where we're actually going to perform music for you. And don't forget about the pre-event mixer, where if you buy a box seat, you'll be in the VIP section, and you also have private access to a VIP mixer with celebrity guests. Shake hands, break bread, network, and then walk the red carpet with us and take amazing photos. It's going to be a night to remember. You don't want to forget this. And you help vote by going to forbiddenknowledge.com, go to the Conscious Awards link. You can text in a vote for who you want for any category, as well as if you're out of the country, you can use the web form ballot to still vote for anyone you think is worthy of being honored that night. Make sure you hurry up and get your tickets because they're selling out very fast. I want to see you there. Forbidden Conscious Awards 2023. All right, it's going to be amazing.
If you've ever wondered what this looks like in a tux, that's your chance right there.
They were looking sharp.
That's your chance right there. It's going to be great. So not only we've got red carpet, we've got VIP entrances and things like that, which, you know, this is a black tie affair. The city is behind this.
That's right. Media will be there.
The media is going to be there. Yeah. This is a really, really, really big deal, man.
Yeah, it's the real deal. And when I say, you know, better than the Oscars, better than the Grammys, I'm not lying. In my opinion, that's exactly what this is going to be, because we're going to be contributing we'll be giving awards to people that have been contributing to this community, to the world, literally as a whole, for, I don't even know, for decades, some of these people. Some people have made a lifetime commitment to helping raise awareness on this planet in various different ways. That's why there's so many categories. And you're the ones that are going to get a chance to vote. So I'm going to drop the link to where you can actually go and vote for whoever you want, whatever that name is, whoever you know, in any single category. You can vote by text message. You can also vote by web form ballot. If you're out of the United States, you can vote by the web. And once we come up with all the nominees, our counting system will determine who are the top nominees in each category. We'll pick 3 of the top nominees in each category, and then you'll go for a second vote. But now you have more ammunition, because we'll make a page with all the nominees, the top 3 in every category, links to all their accomplishments. You'll be able to go there and research these people and pick the ones and vote for the ones that you feel deserve to win that category. And then we will have our winners. We need to have the winners before the event, because we have to carve these gigantic, magnificent crystal pyramids with their names on them that you voted for.
You know how, Billy, you know me pretty well. I don't get nervous.
Yeah.
I need a crowd. I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. So when we see the Oscars, and you see the Emmys, and you see the People's Choice, you see the Golden Globes, and you see these MTV Awards, when you see them and you watch the host, I am going to get to be that dude. I'm nervous, man.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
We've got tell them about our master of ceremonies.
Oh, we have Chris Spencer. He's a famous comedian. He's actually written all the scripts for several major award shows, including the Grammys and the Emmys and the BET Awards and many others.
Oh, you have to bring in somebody like that. That not only is magnetic and a great personality, but this is what he does, right? He puts together these this level of I was going to say ceremony, which is what it is. Yeah. So we've got Chris Spencer. I'm going to be doing the presenting. I got the easy job. I just get to go in and well, present.
Actually, now you have an intimate knowledge of the people.
True.
So, which he doesn't have. So when you start talking about the nominees, you're going to be able to intimately, most of them you're going to have known, probably even had them on your show.
Maybe, but I'm still nervous, man. I'm going to be like, I can't wait, man. This is like the big thing.
Yeah.
And again, everybody listen. This event, as big and as fun as it is, this just comes from an idea.
Yeah.
And you can either be a talker or you can be a doer. And This went from a phone call amongst friends to, well, Elizabeth taking charge.
And she jumps on everything.
Yeah,
boom, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. You guys can't back out now. But that's how these things happen. And it's just taking the germ of an idea and then going out and executing it. So please come vote and then come hang out with us in June right here in Miami. One of the things in that clip that I think is shown really well is the center. It is a beautiful building.
Oh man, it's amazing. I think I had a picture here, but it might have been taken out of this presentation, but that is an amazing place. Yeah, it's not in here anymore, but it's an amazing, amazing place. And it is, it's breathtaking. When you walk into that place, you're like, whoa, it really is a breathtaking venue from the outside and the inside.
I know, right?
It reminds me of the famous ceremony hall in Australia.
In Sydney.
Yeah, in Sydney.
The Opera Hall.
Opera House. The Sydney Opera House. It reminds me of that. It has that feel.
And the Disney Center in downtown LA, it's got that vibe.
Okay, I haven't seen that one. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty nice. We'll do it there next year.
Hey. Yeah. It's because we're going to do it every year.
We're going to do it every year.
Every year.
That's get out and get your stuff done.
Right.
And we were talking earlier, goofing off, right? And so we have some friends and family here, and we're sitting around talking. It's all about surrounding yourself with positive people and energies, right? Is that the true key? If somebody asked me what's the secret, I would say surround yourself with positivity.
That's it.
If there's one negative person, it's going to ruin it for everybody.
Because negativity is contagious. Negativity is a virus. And I learned this at MIT, actually. I knew this, spiritually, but it was confirmed when I went to take classes. And they actually showed the scientific demonstrations in class. It was taught by my professor, Dr. Tara Swart. And she shows where a person with a negative outlook on life, how their biofield, which is emanating from their heart, which is magnetic field that's going out 8 to 10 feet, is interconnecting with other people in the room. And also on that negative mindset are the negative hormones, cortisol and all the other hormones that are in there that are spiking and now traveling up that magnetic field, interacting with the next person's field, and then spiking their cortisol. And then that person spiking that one. So they show this in this amazing diagram, how one negative person literally infects the other people with negativity.
What was that song by the Osmond Brothers? One bad apple, right? One bad apple can spoil the whole bunch.
That's right.
That's exactly it, isn't it?
That's it.
If you think about it in these terms, like when you're walking through an office that you work at, I'll just use this really quick. We're live. Okay, but you're walking through an office and you'll see a cubicle that always seems to have people there having a conversation and in a good mood. And then you'll see a cubicle with somebody sitting in it that never does. Right? And now it's just because one is a positive person with positive people and the other one with that doesn't. And the person in that negative vibe knows it. And so they can feel, and it makes it worse for them where they don't like the happiness or the positive vibes and this thing. And it's that person that needs to stop and go, maybe that's me. Maybe I need to take a hard look at myself. And that's the toughest thing to do, isn't it?
The toughest thing to do is admit that there's a problem with yourself.
Right.
And the first thing that we all need to do before we start becoming a victim or claiming to have a victim, to being the victim to something, is look in the mirror.
Right.
When I was a kid growing up, I had a rough life. I had a rough childhood. But I didn't take the victim mentality. I didn't blame everyone on the outside for all my problems and why I was poor, why I was broke, why I didn't have food, why I didn't have clothes. You know what I did? I looked in the mirror and I said, it's up to me to change this. Instead of having PTSD, you need to develop PTG, post-traumatic growth.
Right.
That's what you have to develop. And that will get you to the next level, because then you begin to take charge of your reality, take charge of your life, realize your situation. And instead of claiming victimhood on everything, say, you know what action steps do I need to take to change this reality?
PTG. PTG.
That's it.
Post-traumatic growth.
That's it, man.
Why? It is. I used to always tell my daughters this. It's easy to be bad, right? It's easy to do the wrong thing. That's easy. You know, is it easier to drive 20 miles over the speed limit or drive the speed limit? Driving the speed limit, right? It's easy to get bad grades. It's hard to make sure you do your homework every day. That's a hard thing to do. But do you want to do the right thing or the wrong thing? The right thing is hard. It's not easy. It's not. It's simply not. And so to make those choices, to back up and go, I think that's what makes the decisions tough for some people, because it takes work. It's hard. The easy road is to be complacent and to ignore the reality of the situation and continue to fester in the negativeness of your life.
Yeah.
The hard thing to do is to step out and get to work.
It's the hard thing to do. And the hard thing to do also for people is to look at themselves and analyze all their faults. Because you have to then you look in the mirror and you have to realize, wow, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. This is where I'm failing. This is where I'm not doing good at. But don't see it as a negative thing. When you look in the mirror and you see these things, you're supposed to say, okay, I need to work on this. Okay, I need to work on that. Well, how do I work on that? Now you become the researcher. So this is where the student becomes the teacher. Okay, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You're both the student and the teacher. All right. So what that means is now you've got to go look self-help books. There's millions of them. There's self-help videos. If you got to go see a psychotherapist, meditation, all the things you can do, things within the conscious community that will people on the list that you need to be voting for, right? Everything that they have a different aspect of what you need to fix yourself. Become the person that begins to work and fix yourself, forgive yourself for things that you've done, and then move on.
Right. When you, I just got my first award this weekend.
Oh yeah, congratulations!
Yeah, thank you. And I didn't say that for you to say thank you, but thank you, or for you to say that. But here's the thing: you just got your first award too.
Yes,
and you didn't know it was coming. I didn't know it was coming.
Right.
And you put in the time. You don't do it for awards or. I didn't know this stuff was coming, but that's why this award ceremony that we're doing here, the Forbidden Conscious Awards, is so important. Most, if not all, of these recipients, I don't know yet, neither do you. We don't know who's going to win, but are not expecting this, and they deserve it. And when I got my award, just like yours, it's this appreciation, knowing that your friends and the people that are around you for so that stop and recognize. And it is such an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, I was brought to tears. I mean, I cried on stage and I didn't know, just, all these, years and years of dedication that my peers recognize it. It meant everything to me.
Great feeling.
How did I talked to you that night, and I talked to you the next day after you got the award. Share some of that with us. How did you feel?
Yeah, I was amazing. I was in Manchester. No, I was in Blackpool. Sorry, Blackpool in the UK. Right. We were doing the Awakening Expo in 2022, and I had 2 hours to speak. And I was speaking. I had no idea I was getting that.
You were being set up, right?
No, I didn't know.
No, I know. That's the whole thing. You were being set up from the word go.
From the word go, I was being set up. Vitaly tells me that when you get done, you have to end exactly on time because somebody is going to propose right after your presentation. And I'm keeping that in mind. Meanwhile, my sister's there. My sister's never been to any of my events or anything. I'm thinking, well, she lives in Germany. It wasn't too hard to get to
Maria.
Maria.
She was there. Okay.
And I'm like, okay, well, this is great. Somebody in my family finally get to see something that I'm doing, right? I still didn't put, the math together in my head. And so I end my presentation, but I'm not completely done. And I had like the most important part. So I'm getting the crowd going 5 more minutes, and they're going 5 more minutes. So they extend my presentation 5 more minutes. I finish the presentation, and then they don't do the proposal, the wedding proposal. I'm like, oh, I messed this guy's proposal up. That was the only time I thought maybe they had to give this guy a chance to propose to his, girl. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So Giorgio Tsoukalos from History Channel, Ancient Aliens, he comes on stage and he starts talking about this award, and he starts naming what this award is for. And I'm like, man, that's some deep stuff.
It's a cool dude.
So I'm thinking, who in here? I know the panel was a great panel, great people, but I'm thinking, who on this panel has done this many things or can fit this mold? Maybe they flew somebody in. And then he starts talking about my life story. He's saying a story of a life of a person from the time they were a kid. It was my life story. My sister and Elizabeth had fed them all the information and all the details of my life story going all the way up, and they knew everything. I mean, things I even forgot about. They had photographs of all the stuff.
It was a great video, by the way.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And it was me. And I just broke down. And then Giorgio Tsoukalos called me on stage and handed me the award. And it was amazing. It's a feeling like no other. You can't really even put it into words.
No, you can't. You can't. They did the same thing to me, similar, where I was presenting the awards there at Conscious Life, and I go through all of the awards, and Serena says they have a special announcement. So I thought somebody's blocking the fire exit, somebody's a lost baby,
right.
Whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So she comes up, and I'm standing off the side of the stage, and she does the same thing. Blah, 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 this and then, and I'm just like, okay, all right. And it's because of this and his shows like Fade to Black. I'm like, oh man, no, you guys aren't doing this right now.
Yeah.
And completely, I mean, no, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was set up. They're giving me the schedule. Okay, Jimmy, you're going to do this. Everybody knew. Yeah. I didn't know.
I was the only one. I was completely clueless.
It was one of the first times. I don't know about you, but it was one of the first times I had nothing. I had no words.
It was so hard for me to put words together. Yeah. It was hard to configure anything.
And but Billy, that's why I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
Because in Miami in June, we get to do this to 10 different people.
Yeah.
We get to just not only surprise somebody, but recognize them.
Yeah.
And catch them by surprise.
Right.
And I get to jam a microphone in their face. How do you feel right now? and because what I felt, what you felt, let's watch everybody else enjoy this. Yeah. It's just incredible.
It's going to be an amazing event. And we are giving away an Audi A4 live at the actual award show. And that's a forbidden knowledge thing.
A4,
we give away cars.
A4.
That's right. An Audi A4. So the car will be at the venue with a big bow on top. And your ticket is the ticket that you pay to get in the event is your raffle ticket to win the car. And one person that night will be a lucky person that will win the Audi A4 live at the actual award show.
Man, I need to get in on this car action, man.
We love giving away cars.
I know, right? Oh, man. I'll never forget that when you called me up, you go, church, I'm going to give away my rolls. Yeah. You're going to what? We announced that on Fade to Black.
Yes, we did.
We announced that on Fade to Black. That was one of the funnest things.
Yeah.
Man, I want in on this car action. So then, Billy, we're going to go to Manchester, man.
Yes.
We're taking Forbidden Knowledge on a world tour.
That's right.
We warned all of you what was going down in 2023.
Yeah.
All right. We're not playing around. Going to Manchester. Roll this thing. Roll this.
This year, a stellar lineup of international guest speakers, filmmakers, radio and TV personalities from around the world will come together for an unforgettable Forbidden Knowledge World Tour special event. An event to present the very best. The very best in ufology, extraterrestrials and contacts of various kinds, the paranormal and supernatural, cryptids, ancient mysteries, and mind, body, spirit. Immerse in conscious music live performances. Walk the red carpet at our European film premieres. And with 3 speaker arenas, exhibit stands, mediums, and holistic healers, book signings, photo shoots, and much more, Forbidden Knowledge World Tour is a must-attend event of the year on August 25th through the 27th, 2023 at Bowler's Exhibition Centre, Manchester, UK. That's right, I'm practicing. Hello, Manchester. Tickets are now available at awakeningexpo.com. That's awakeningexpo.com.
All right.
Man, oh man.
Do you recognize the voice of Jimmy
Man,
Church Radio?
oh man. Hello, Manchester. I am so looking forward to this.
Yeah.
And, Forbidden Knowledge on the road. It's Awakening. It's Manchester. It's the United Kingdom. And getting over there to not only hang out with everybody, but to get Forbidden Knowledge and the World Tour and bringing our crew, right?
Yeah.
All over to hang out.
That's right.
Manchester's never going to be the same, man.
Yeah. It's going to be amazing. Look, last year was Blackpool. This year is Manchester. My first time in Manchester. It's going to be mind-blowing. And we're still working on setting up London. The venue is being set up right now. There's a London event. And also Houston. We're going to talk to you again about your contact over there in LA. The gentleman you told me about a few months back. And then also one here in Florida. So we're going to be going on tour, guys. We're going on tour. We're going everywhere that we can possibly go. And we're trying to cover, the East, the Mid, and the West of the United States. And, of course, the UK. And next year it'll get bigger. So this is where we're coming this year.
My mama always said, be careful what you wish for, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Because we're coming to your town. And the one of the conversations that the 3 of us have had a lot, I'm talking about Billy, Elizabeth, and myself, is over the last couple of years, is hearing from the community, which is, man, it's always LA, man. It's always it's never, what about us? Well, there you go. Be careful what you wish for. We're coming to your town. We're coming to your part of the country. We're coming to your part of the world. And that's what the vision for this has been from the very beginning. I do want to thank Elizabeth. Elizabeth is like, dude, let's take this on the road. This is what people want. Let's go and let's do this. And it's exactly what's happening, man.
Exactly what's happening. We're just moving into working a lot more with some of our own conferences, setting up some of our own. We'll still do some other, but we're literally trying to be a little bit more in control of the information and the content that we're putting out to make sure we're giving you the best speakers, the best lecturers, the best topics, the best knowledge and gnosis that you can possibly get. And we want to do it in a way where we give everybody a chance to get to it. Some people can get to the East Coast. Some people can get to the Midwest. Some people can get to the West Coast. And so we're trying to space it out to give people a chance to hop on a plane or to get in a car and drive, because a lot of people don't like to fly, to drive on down. And I'm working on something very special. I forgot about this for the Conscious Awards. It isn't set in stone yet, but if I get this lock, which it looks like it will be,
do tell.
Be airfare and hotel for 2. All you pay is the taxes of $199.
What?
Yeah, I have this.
I want in on that action.
I have this company I've been doing for a long time, right?
Yeah, this is cool.
And they're going to put together a special package for me they're going to be one of the sponsors. And in return, they're putting together this package for me for the Forbidden Conscious.
Oh, that is so cool. Well, like the movie premiere for Black Knight Satellite, that was in Detroit.
Yeah.
Could have been LA, could have been New York.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get the complaints, right? Or, what about us?
Right.
Well, we did that in Detroit.
Yeah.
And to have so many show up saying, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this here. Thank you. Thank you. And we have people from all over the country that were there at that event. But because it wasn't New York and it wasn't the West Coast, it wasn't LA, it was easier for them to get to. And it was an event in Detroit. And it was so much fun. It was phenomenal. But to have that Midwest vibe, man, we threw down and that was great. And we did that in Detroit.
That's right. Yep, absolutely. So a lot of stuff going on, as you can see. And, we're really excited about the Forbidden Conscious Awards, the Forbidden Tour of Egypt. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Cambodia. My goodness. After Egypt, we're going to Cambodia. That's in November. Okay, so there's a Cambodia tour. If you want to hike through the jungles with me, all right, in 100-degree heat.
Are there any tunnels, Billy? Are there any tunnels?
No tunnels to climb in. No, you're going to love this one, Jimmy. No tunnels to climb in. But it is going to be 100 degrees, and it will be, well, maybe a little bit less in November. Probably going to be 95 degrees, and the humidity might drop a little bit to about 90% instead of 100%. But it's going to be an amazing tour.
Cambodia also happened with the conversation of our friends from Egypt. We're just sitting around chatting. Somebody said, and the next thing you know, Elizabeth gets in. 24 hours later, okay,
Cambodia.
We're going to Cambodia.
It's live, and it's almost sold out. We haven't even advertised yet. Well, 4 people, for personal reasons, couldn't make it anymore. So there are some spots that open up for the Cambodia tour. Angkor Wat is the largest temple complex in the world. I think the X-Men's compound was modeled after Angkor Wat.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
And then, to hike out to Tao Prom and see dinosaurs etched in stone on these ancient temples with the meat on their bones, which means people knew what dinosaurs looked like because they saw them when they were alive. And to go to all these ancient sites, to hike up Kuleen Mountain to a 90-meter waterfall and swim with the monks. Nobody gets to do this kind of stuff.
Man, I saw that Indiana Jones movie.
We're going to do it in real life.
Man, it's when I think about 2023, look, the trauma that this planet went through the last 2.5 years.
Yeah,
we're ready, man. We're ready to get back out there and, and start yelling and screaming and exploring the world again and beautiful faces and people smiling. I think that's part of it. I think we're all, cabin fever is something that's been overused. Right. But I think we all understand it now.
Oh, yeah.
and what it can be.
It's time to get out and travel. Travel is something, it's one of the greatest investments you can make in yourself. It's an investment that never stops paying back to you. It's a lifetime investment because of the memories that you create, the things that you learn about other people's civilizations. It's a mind-blowing thing, because when you're only staying in your local area or your local country, and some people don't even leave their zip code, your idea or concept of the world as a whole is extremely limited to what you saw on TV and what you saw around the corner.
That's right.
Once you start traveling, your whole perspective on life and reality change, and it'll never be the same again.
Never be the same.
Yeah.
And there's a strange thing that happens when you get out there. Here in the United States, and I don't mean it because I love my country, and I'm not saying this in a negative sense at all, but sometimes here in the United States, we tend to think that it's all about the United States, right? It's all about, there's nothing else going on.
Yeah.
And we're locked in that. And I understand. I do. I fully get it.
Yeah.
But you get out there and you not only discover, look, what's the oldest thing in this neighborhood of yours?
Oh, man. 2 years old, maybe?
Yeah, McDonald's, right? Right?
Yeah.
So there's no McDonald's down the street here.
There's no McDonald's in here.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you go out where these cultures are thousands of years old, and they have been able to understand and develop what it is to be human and human to another human. It's a different vibe.
Yeah.
So you go out and you experience that, and then you have to fly back to the United States. And that's when the harsh reality hits you that sometimes we're not too friendly to each other here in this country.
Yeah.
Where you go out there in the world where we have this painting of this this craziness of the world, it really doesn't exist like that.
Yeah.
And people are beautiful and nice and actually want to say hello to you.
Yeah.
And come up. Well, here in the United States, if somebody comes up out of the blue and says hello, somebody's offended.
Right.
Right? You understand?
Come on. What do you want? What do you need?
Why did you say good morning to me?
Right.
Where it's the opposite out there. And so you find yourself as an American, as a U.S. citizen, coming back to the country going, man, we don't have it figured out here.
Yeah.
And it's not all about us.
Yeah.
It's not. And hopefully you come back wanting to understand culture and your neighbor and maybe somebody across the street that you've never talked to.
Yeah.
And start to be nice again and friendly.
Yeah.
And that's what you get from exploring the world.
I agree 1,000%. You start to come to areas where there's a lot of diversity, races from all over the planet in one location. You can't even afford to be racist.
You can't be a racist. No.
You can't be.
No.
And you're like, you go to some of these crossroads in some of these countries, it's like everybody's from somewhere else.
That's right. That's 100%.
There's no more, you know what? It's like, wow. And
right.
so you come back here and you get to realize, but also you can also go to some places and learn a better lesson about where you live, because you can see some things out there, some harsh conditions that you don't have here. So you can also gain some appreciation. So it works both ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can be like, damn, I got some fresh, like, I got great running water to drink and take a shower in tonight. And so you can get both perspectives, but you can't get it unless you get out there and travel.
Billy and I are speaking firsthand because of our relationship. Yeah. And it's funny because we post pictures of each other a lot together, and it's a real friendship and things, but we know. Yeah. We post a picture. Yo, what's up? We post these pictures, and there's going to be somebody that's going, man, that ain't real. Yeah. This. They don't like that. Two
human beings.
Yeah, two human beings are not supposed to get along. Yeah. I'm a loudmouth. Here's the smart guy. We're not supposed to. Yeah. And then the other reasons that they get, that's simply not the case. Yeah. It's about getting along, respecting each other, listening to each other. Yeah. There are sometimes I think to myself, Billy and I can be as far apart as two people can be. Yeah. Really, honestly.
Right.
There's no reason why this should work.
Right.
But that's the beauty of it. And that's why it does work. And also he laughs at my jokes. And that's a big part of it. Oh, by the way, the offer still stands. We got a couple minutes left. We can do this right now.
RM for what you got? The limited edition.
It's how many of 150?
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful? Handmade,
original
Swiss.
Piece.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't it beautiful?
I love Swiss movies.
So it's here. It's right here, Billy.
Okay.
It's right there. You just, when you're ready to pull the trigger,
right?
It's really nice.
Definitely.
New. Look at that new strap.
Isn't that beautiful?
Isn't it beautiful?
Great strap.
Yeah, just right there. It's a tuna can. Look, watch this. Does yours do this? Whoa,
that's nice.
Yeah, isn't it though?
Nice little.
Okay, I'm just saying it's right here.
Okay, I got you. I'm going to consider it. But what we're saying is this. Do we agree on everything? No. Two grown men can disagree on certain things, but we can also have the tough conversations and we still be friends at the end of the day.
And we do.
That's
we
right.
do. We don't have. We've had. You know what? We've been tested.
Yeah.
We've had some conversations.
Yeah.
We've been to the edge of the cliff and took a peek.
Yeah.
But it's about that, and when we say this to all of you, and you see a picture of the three of us, Elizabeth isn't here right now, but when you excuse me, when you see a picture of us together and we say these things about friendship and go out and surround yourself with like minds and positive, we're not playing around about this. This is a very, very, very serious thing. Yeah. And I know that when I call Billy or Billy calls me and we have something important or we have an idea, at least we're going to listen to each other.
Yeah.
Not everything gets upvoted.
No.
It doesn't, but we're able to exchange ideas and move forward. And we don't agree
right.
On everything. And
Exactly.
I think that's the best part.
Yeah.
We learn from each other.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not a yes man, and he ain't a yes man.
No.
Don't surround yourself with yes men. Please don't do that.
Oh man, we're the opposite of yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you, Wander. It's very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Rita says, "What about one of your guitars?" I have no idea what that's about, but
okay.
Can I say this? People have seen my guitars.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing. I'm a musician and I come from that background. But this is the beauty of the things that you talk about and what those guitars have contributed. Trip on this, everybody. Just go with me. Open up your mind for a second. Guitars have strings. Strings vibrate. All right. And so when you become a musician and you play guitars enough, you understand the thicknesses of each string and how much they vibrate and the sounds and the differences that are amongst them. And you understand what vibration means. And so vibration introduces you to frequencies, which introduces you to sound and light. All right. And then with that knowledge of being a musician over the years and the vibration of strings, you come into this community and it's vibration, it's light, it's sound, it's okay. All right. But then that pushes you into the science of things and physics.
Right.
And Brian Greene and string theory. Right. And so you talk about physics and you talk about the science of things and string theory and quantum and magic and all of this stuff of science. And then you find out about string theory, which proposes, amongst other things, which is the combination of gravity and the science of gravity and quantum mechanics and QM, that at the very smallest of the small are these subatomic things that are strings that vibrate.
Yes.
That's string theory. And that vibration of a string and its frequency of its vibration creates what that particle is.
Yeah.
Right? That there's only one particle at the foundation of everything, but when it vibrates at a certain frequency, that changes its future. You know what it is.
Right. It's wave of potential.
Yeah, it's what it's going to be.
Exactly.
Right. So, but I'm a musician and guitars, and I understand this content. It doesn't make me a physicist. It doesn't make you a physicist, but it's these ideas of music and vibration and of sound and of light that we understand is what science is trying to teach us now.
Exactly.
And the two of it is coming together. And I love that. And I love what you bring to the table, man. It's just incredible to me.
I appreciate that. Yeah. And that's why I got into producing music. And, I think it's something that's a natural, we're drawn to it because the passion for the sound, but somehow we're at a deeper level. I think we're really relating to it on a quantum level, in a quantum field, where the music that we're able to create, those vibrations and those cymatic frequencies, they're resonating with us on a way that's allowing us to tap into our deep creativity and then showcase that to the world as well. And so it's amazing that you can see as above, so below, with the guitar all the way down to the quantum field with subatomic strings and string theory, literally vibrating matter into existence. It's amazing stuff.
It is. It's a mind-blowing where we have not only the most cutting edge of physicists and string theorists that have dedicated their careers to this, but this is the same thing that has been taught and understood for thousands of years. Yeah. Guitars and violins and how many harps? If you see them on the hieroglyphs in Egypt, you see them stringed instruments there. It's the same principles.
Same principles. Yeah.
It's mind blowing to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Billy, just thank you so much. And we're about to have a pretty knockdown, drag out weekend. We're gonna have a good time. Oh, I want to say this. Can I say this? He was just talking about this is why he got into music and producing. Billy under the bus 4 times today on the show. So talking about not getting along. So Billy and I were working on stuff. This happened a few times, not just once. So Billy's recording for me, and I got to make the phone call. It's not good enough, man. And instead of somebody else would say, Jimmy, I'm busy, or Jimmy, it's good enough, or go, what are you talking about? You're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of that, Billy goes, let's do it again. When? Right now. That is friendship.
Yeah.
Where you're going to trust my opinion,
yeah.
and let's not argue. Let's not even discuss it.
Yeah.
Let's just recut it and get it right.
Yeah.
And that's a part of what a friendship is.
That's it, man.
Did I ever piss you off once though? When I gave you the bad phone call?
I never get really angry like that. You know,
right?
I either get concerned or frustrated, and then I always look for, well, how can we solve the problem?
Did you ever think that I didn't know what I was talking about?
No. I always think, well, I think that everybody, especially when you call and you're passionate about something, there's something to this.
Right.
I got to get to the deeper root of it and figure out, well, how can I be part of the solution? How does it affect me?
Mm-hmm.
What do we need to do to fix this problem?
Mm-hmm.
I instantly go always into problem solving mode, because I know in that mode, I'm not panicked. I'm not afraid. I'm not angry.
Right.
It takes me into a whole new shifted mindset that allows me to deal with the situation and solve the problem. And if I can't solve it, how can I be a part of solving it? Or how can we talk and work through this versus everything just being a catastrophe and I don't know what I'm going to do. And,
why is it that the simple way of looking at it, like this way, more people aren't open to that? Because in the end, if you just relax and maybe recut it or rewrite that chapter of the book or whatever it is, right, that maybe you'll go back and listen to the new track or read the new paragraph in the or whatever it is and go, you know what, they were right.
Yeah.
I got all up in this and got all negative.
Yeah.
When in the end, you know.
Do you know how many times somebody has come to me with something that I thought was initially sounding negative, and then I sat back and I went to research and dig deeper into what it was, and I realized they had a good point.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, you know what? As much as I hate to really admit this,
right?
And you know what I'll do? I'm man enough to call that person back and say, you know what, man? You had a good point, or sometimes you were right. And that's how you become a real human being.
That's it. Don't you feel correct after that?
Yeah.
You don't have to make excuses.
The weight is relieved.
Yeah, the weight is
you know, instead of walking around with the weight on your shoulders of knowing that somebody was right and you were wrong or you were incorrect or they had a good point or a different point of view came out.
Yes.
Instead of walking around and storing all that in your body.
Right.
And aging yourself.
Right.
And giving yourself disease, which causes disease.
Right.
Release it, man.
Right. And if you want to release it right now, you can, Billy. Here's the watch. You can release the pressure that is on you, and you can feel better as a human being. And all that can happen right now. No, I guess not. I'm going to put this watch back on. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Billy.
Thank you, Jimmy, for coming on tonight. Don't forget, guys, go to jimmychurchradio.com. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel at Jimmy Church Radio and listen to his podcast and everything everywhere else. All right. And look for him everywhere. Hosting conferences, hosting award shows, you name it, traveling the world, going to tours of Egypt, everywhere. JimmyChurchRadio.com. Thanks a lot, Jimmy, man. Love you, brother.
Billy, love you back. Thank you, everybody. Seriously, we've got a full year in front of us. Yeah. Go to forbiddenknowledge.tv. All of the information is there. We've got other projects that are going to be announced throughout the year. We've got some big surprises coming up. Anything is on my social media network. Everything goes back and forth between the two of us. So if there's something that you forgot, it's going to be on one of our social media platforms, and you can go and check it out. But come and hang out with us this year. 2023 is going to be nothing but magic. Thank you so much, everybody. Behave and be well.
Behave and be well. I love that. I'm typing in jimmychurchradio.com. All right.
Yeah, we can.
I just dropped it in the comment feed. There you guys go. It's going, everyone. Peace.